Hello, and welcome to the Interviews and Interrogations Institute. My name is Skip Rogers, and I'm the training director of the Institute, which specializes in advanced interrogation practices for both law enforcement and civilian investigators. The Interviews and Interrogations Institute delivers the collective experience and wisdom of an impressive cadre of law enforcement professionals, all of which who are experienced and knowledgeable experts with many years of successful outcomes in the interview room. We know the needs and challenges of investigators in the real world and have developed our programs to provide every step required in the process of a successful interview or interrogation. So whether you're a rookie or a veteran on the job, we know that our training can provide the most comprehensive route to getting criminals off the street.
In order for law enforcement to be successful, we require the trust and consent of the public. Fairness and respect is the currency of today's interrogator, which also applies to any institution assigned with the pursuit of the truth. Interviewing effectively is the most important skill to master as an investigator, because no matter how much we know about an incident, we will never know as much as the person who committed the act, witnessed the act, or was the victim of the act.
To gather such detailed information requires that we foster the flow of communication by treating all people with dignity and respect as they progress through what might often be their most difficult situation. Today, in most police departments, there are rarely comprehensive policies in place for interview and interrogation. What exists is more often no more than procedural. Officers have full autonomy of how they conduct interviews and interrogations with no mandate or training from which they can develop skills. They're essentially free to do whatever they deem appropriate, even if that means winging it.
Yet more of a problem is the lack of supervision throughout the interview and interrogation process. Many supervisors lack I&I training, and even fewer yet will provide supervisory observation in real time, hence the amount of costly errors and mistakes we see as a consequence. When interview and interrogation is conducted poorly, this creates later problems in court. Very few prosecutors have been trained in I&I, which only compounds the problem and perpetrates an ongoing cycle of misunderstanding and ineptitude.
Statements and confessions get suppressed, and guilty people go free. Conversely, innocent people can be wrongly convicted. These problems are systemic. The nationwide turnover rate in public safety is at an all-time high. As older generations retire, they take our profession's knowledge base with them. New, young, and less experienced people inhabit the vast majority of public safety roles. A generation that is now more dependent on technology than their predecessors has less access to the wisdom that those predecessors learned the hard way and most often failed to pass on.
This is where technology and collective wisdom come into play. With the creation of our online learning system to deliver training lessons across mobile and desktop platforms, no matter where or when the trainee needs support. Our digital programs enable learning to happen at the officer's own rate and convenience, with a complete series of lessons as well as expert interviews, real-world footage, and troubleshooting modules.
It's like having one of our trainers in your pocket and with you at all times. In interviews and interrogations, the value of a question is only as good as the answer that is heard, and more importantly, understood.